Bug. Or as the Blue Meanies would say, Bug, I love my bug. Bug. William Castle's last film. Not the last film he worked on, but the last William Castle film. Before we continue, let's get something out of the way. Brady House. Yeah, that show. Yuck. Yes, it was used in the house of Professor Parmenter in Bug. Changed slightly. Everybody knows that. Who cares? Marcia. Moving on. Let's talk about the audio. The score. First off, Bug came out in 1975. In 1974, another cult hit arthropod art piece entitled Phase 4 was making the news. The trippy electronic score is also one of the most beloved aspects of Phase 4, but Bug is not jumping on the bloodthirsty Bug bandwagon. The final film, by Mr. Castle, is certainly its own thing, and to be fair, Night Gallery dabbled in experimental music even before Phase 4 did. And in fact, Mr. Castle hired Janos Schwark, who directed 19 episodes of Night Gallery, including the episode known as The Caterpillar, which most people consider to be the most horrifying, to direct Bug. So Mr. Castle made the perfect choice of director, and there's no wonder why a lot of Bug looks simultaneously like a European film and also like the best episodes of Night Gallery. Certainly in terms of camera work and prestidigitation of the lens, yes, I tend to win at Scrabble. Not to be confused with digital flatulence of certain softwares, Castle most assuredly retained his reputation of seeing what thrilled people in other films in other countries and incorporating such into his own. We must also credit Mr. Castle in Bug for not only going out with a bang, but stretching himself as a writer-producer as well, balancing new tricks against classic Castle creme de menthe. In the most well-known scene in Bug, Bug goes gaga over giallo techniques, which were huge in 1975. The director angles past a telephone, so old, so clunky, it used to be a murder weapon in Colombo. In fact, I think it probably still has a rotary dial. In order to show the young lady in the background of the scene, well, unbeknownst to her, the danger lurks and prepares the horror to come while making awful little noises in the handset of the phone. The result is pretty gut-wrenching. Very active, and the opposite of stagey, the opposite of Mr. Sardonicus, putting pay to the Pussy Willows, who played Mac the Schluck with Castle's career a decade beforehand. With certain Hitchcockian techniques, Schwark lures us in to the most notorious scene in Bug, also the most shocking and far more terrifying than anything from Castle's previous movies, leading directly to a vignette showcasing film noir lighting, blocking, and composition redolent of Mr. Castle's work long ago in the crime genre, in which we really feel for Professor James Parmenter, for the loss of his wife in such a horrific way, breaking him and bending him towards the classic mad scientist decision involving the monster bugs and a normal cucaracha. Is it ever a good idea to facilitate a prehistoric bug booty call? No. Nevertheless, Bradford Diddleman really puts his professional back into Bug, and he is believable in every step of the movie, every step of the way, almost likable. Mr. Dillman's previous characters were never known for their likability. In fact, 30 years ago, I was watching Bug for the third time, and my girlfriend comes in to the room and scowls. "What's wrong?" I ask. She says, "He has a face born for sitting on." She went into the kitchen. I called out, Don't you want to watch the rest of the movie with me? She hollered back, Is Mr. Ass Cushion Face in it for the rest of the movie? Suffice it to say, I did not rewatch the rest of Bug with somebody else. But the film offers a few accidental laughs along the way. Make no mistake. Like when Parmiter is examining one of the bugs. He's holding its face right up to the camera. No, sir, Mr. Pratt, sir. Showing us its big-ass buggy eyes, and exclaims, It has no eyes! To mention more would be bouncing on the buffhead trampoline of spoilers, so I will end with this. The makers of Damnation Alley sure as sugar saw this film and hit the homage button on the tribute machine. So show some love to Mr. Castle's last hurrah in the horror genre, and as always, stay hungry, stay culty, and by the way, watch The Cult Show. Ta-ta!
Have you ever seen a monster dance? Do you want to see a little vamp romance? Are there weird and wacky things you want to know? You can find them at your old cult show.